Today, we're gonna completely remodel our kids' bathroom, and we're gonna do it for under 200 bucks. It's old and dated, but I really think we can bring it up with some pops of color and some accent pieces. And a bit of sweat equity from the fam, of course. Let's do it. So I got all these extra pieces of just scrap wood. Why not use that instead of going and spending a bunch of money and stuff? But I got all this leftover wood from old projects that I got underneath this tarp just sitting right over here. Let's see what we got. If we're going to come in under that $200 budget, we're going to have to hand build all our accent pieces using this scrap. So we're going to need some 2x, because we're doing a 12 by 24 bench. Honestly, at this point, I have no clue what size the bench is going to be. I don't mind that. I don't mind rustic ones. This will work perfect. Yep. Both of these. Shit. This damn mirror looks almost 24 inches. And then all I had to purchase was paint and a couple of pieces of hardware.
It's just the first one I picked up.
Mm-hmm. That one's fine.
You like that better than this, right? It's a
Mm-hmm.
lighter.
Hi, how are you? I'm trying to get this color. Okay. So I needed for like two different things. I needed to paint a cabinet, and I need to paint a ceiling in a bathroom. Like a satin, probably. Okay. Not too shiny and not gloss.
So is it just one cabinet?
It's like a sink, so like a vanity.
Oh.
Where? Sorry. Oh yeah, that's it. That's the one. Today we're redoing JR's bathroom. Are you excited? And he's helping me. You're helping me. Yeah, you are. You're gonna be painting. You're gonna be cutting. He's gonna be cutting wood. He's gonna be painting. He's gonna be doing all the things, helping redo his own bathroom. Right? Yeah, he's got it. Gotta learn how to cut wood, all that. Pound it. Let's get it done. So I figured I'm just gonna draw this out, because if I don't draw this out, I'm never gonna be able to figure out what I need and just get this done. It's just gonna be me running in circles all day. So best way to do this is to figure out what you're gonna be making. So I'm gonna be making benches. So the actual size of a 2x4 is 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches. So that's the true size of it. We're just gonna go with 14 inches because that's gonna be easier, and I don't feel like ripping 2x4s, 24-inch 2x4s. So we're just gonna go with 14 inches in width. They'll be like 18.5 inches in height, 24 inches in length, 4 24-inch long 2x4s to go across the top. So let's see how that comes out and see how that looks. So let me let you guys in on the plan. I'm going for a bench similar to this, but I'm gonna custom size it and make it a bit smaller. I plan to use 4 17-inch legs, 4 7-inch middle supports, 4 25-inch 2x4s for the top seat, and 4 21-inch 2x4s for the bottom storage. Wait. You want to wait for it to completely end, and then you can touch it.
What the?
Perfect cut. In addition to the bench, we're also making wall shelves as well as a pretty large 43-inch towel rack to go on the wall above the bench. And that'll stop recording.
What is this?
Push this, but hold it tight. We'll be doing this one. Hold it, hold it, hold it. We cut to size each individual piece and then sanded each individual piece to ensure smoothness and no splinters. Plus, this wood was sitting outside for a while, so it needed it. All right. So, yeah, you gotta clean the toilet. He wasn't happy about that. As I started with removing the vanity doors, because yes, we are refinishing it instead of replacing it. Remember, we're trying to do this thing under 200 bucks and save money. So doors came off as well as the hardware, and we completely stripped the bathroom. So we didn't get paint or anything we didn't want to. The stain color wasn't exactly what we were going for, but it turned out really nice, actually. And we have other pieces that we've used this stain color on around the house as well. It's a dark walnut. To keep it from getting too dark, the technique we used was we just lathered it on and then used a clean rag to kind of wipe it off and dim it down a little bit. And next, I started with that pop of color we were telling y'all about. Now, I'm no professional painter or anything, but as a realtor and investor, I've done my fair share of painting. I like to start with freehand wall cuts because ain't nobody got time for tape. And then I roll in the center. Now, I was super careful to not get any of this dark blue paint or any of the white, because if I did, it would have just created way more work for me, and ain't nobody got time for that either. I also went really slow to make sure it didn't drip. Next step was to prep and paint the vanity. I started by sanding it down just to knock off the shine. I wiped it down using a bathroom degreaser, and then after that used a foam roller to roll on the paint. While that dries, I went ahead and switched to finishing up that sign. Jazz had finished staining it, so it was just me putting the two 2x4s together, which I used pocket holes for. I got stuck watching the NFL flag football game, so it got late. However, before bed, I did have to finish this darn towel rack. I installed the hooks while watching the game, and then after came up and threw it on the wall before bed. The next morning, I had all hands on deck. It was a matter of hours before my youngest got home, and once he got home, wasn't nobody getting no work done. There we go. With the bench done and the towel rack done, it was time to tackle the wall shelves. Using a tape measure, but mostly my handy dandy eyeball, I figured out where I wanted. The way I like to install wall shelves is to just install the left bracket first and leave the right one until I install the actual shelf so that I can level it all at once. So while waiting for Jazz to finish staining it, I went ahead and did the second coat on the ceiling. And while waiting on that to dry, I had my son hold the light for me while I went ahead and installed the light fixture. I'm no professional electrician either, but again, I've done my fair share. I'm almost done. Like Mimo said, just keep swimming. Or was it Dory? Same thing we did to the base of the cabinet, we doing to the doors. Jazz was finally finished with them shelves, so I went ahead and installed those. Again, I installed the left side and then installed the right bracket, level it out, and then affixed the right bracket to the wall with it already level. Got my bench in place, and then it was on to installing these cabinet doors. And the last step, the cleanup. When we first purchased our little 6-acre homestead, these are the moments we imagined, building it up ourselves from scratch. One drop of sweat, a whole lot of love, and one memory at a time. Thanks for watching the Will and Jay Experience. It means the world to our family. Follow us for more. See y'all on the next one.